Oh, I muted my mic earlier, nice. Good job. Well, hello if I've been muted for longer than I thought. Now, my browser sometimes freezes like that. I'm not really sure what to do about it, but hopefully it won't happen more than once. Last time I restreamed one, I think it only happened once, but apparently my computer just doesn't like having more than one stream open. Okay, Joshy's also got the raft. And thunder as well. That is a weird looking bridge. A whole race, nice. Alright. We'll edit that in post. We'll throw someone else over it. Okay, so we've got medicine cave, yes. Probably. Someday I'll replay this game casually and actually remember what all these caves are. I just know this is the cave with the bridge. Boomerang guy in here. Eon's taken these dark caves pretty cautiously. Not sure she's any more comfortable in them than Joshy. And a magic container in that cave. Yeah, I'm feeling like this race is gonna come down to who is more comfortable in these dark caves, because it's looking like both of them are having a little bit of trouble. Or at least I've noticed some reluctance of them to, like, just try to fly through them. Oh, Eon game overed and has to actually go back through Saria, I think. Joshy is back in the medicine cave, heading for that magic jar. So he's not really behind. Till that game over, I would say Eon was in the lead. But it's quite a walk to get all the way through Saria to get back over here. Oh, Joshy hit something he couldn't see. He's looking for it. What is it? I think it's a bouncy cat. Looks like it smacked him again. And he game overs as well, so... Would of course be preferable to get out of there and find a palace, but if you're on your last life anyway, that's not a terrible place to game over, I guess, because you gotta walk through 2 screens of that anyway. Because Red Octoroks apparently steal experience on contact. Might actually revise that statement if this bridge is required. That is a very long walk to get anywhere. So game overs are going to be a pretty big factor. At least until they find the hammer or the boots and find a better way to get down south. Ooh. Eon almost gets slammed by the red Dyra. I'm not sure what's up with the grass color on Joshy's stream, but I noticed that the other day when he was streaming too. Did I say grass? I meant sand if I said grass. Eon finds the other end of Death Mountain. Checking it out, seeing if the Hammer Cave is right nearby. This does not look like a very good Death Mountain. So, Hammer Cave is not immediately there, though Spectacle Rock was immediately at the other entrance, but they can't access the water, so if there is a required item in Death Mountain, they're gonna have to dive for it. Yeah, the racers are pretty much even. Joshy's, I would say, right on Eon's heels, because, she's pretty much just got the knowledge of that second Death Mountain entrance over him right now. They both game overed in the same spot. He's walking back there. Another town, and this is Raru. Let's see. We're gonna get another free spell in here. I see a hammer block cave over on Joshy's side. That's right by the exit of the bridge. And there's the jump spell. If it were me, I would be very tempted to up A right now and go get down stab. But that may just be me. Because it is a very long walk to get back here. I would probably keep exploring at least until my next game over. And the jump cave over there. Yeah, these flags do throw in mixed monsters and lack of candle at the same time, so it's making these caves very dangerous. Oh, Joshy game overs again. This is going to be a problem if he can't, like, get over there and find a palace to get his lives back. It takes a couple minutes to walk through 3 screens of Saria and a 2-screen bridge. I didn't see what that other cave was that Eon went into, but it must not have had an item. Eon gets an encounter on that tile. That's not a big deal, since it's a road tile. The other end of Jump Cave. I believe that cross down there is the other end of Fairy Cave, because I think we've seen King's Tomb and the other one. There's a palace up there by another rock. I don't know if that's the first rock block cave I called out, or if there's another one. And there's the eastern coast. I think that's a different one, so I think there are 2 boulder block caves. And Great Palace. So that's Great Palace and Palace 5 over here. Not the palaces you want to see. Yeah, ref spot's over here too. Another cave, not sure if she's been in this one. I think that's the other palace there. Yeah, here's the heart container cave. Joshy finds medicine on the grass tile. that it? That's probably it. Oh, I just missed what Eon got. I'll just let somebody tell me instead of trying to figure it out. I don't think Eon has found the grass tile, though I don't think it was very far away. Actually, here it is now, so we'll find out in a second. Eon also gets into an encounter on top of it. Hopefully she didn't game over. Okay. No, I need to mark it on 2 places. Ah, it's the kid, okay. They both got the kid. Kid was in, what was that, heart container cave? I think that's what I called it. It is now. And it's Palace 3 or 6. Let's see, so it went into 2 caves, and there were 2 boulder-blocked caves, right? I think there's still one hanging out there. Unless I'm wrong. But then that would leave Death Mountain and these palaces. Oh yeah, medicine in hand, that's a good call. She can pick up a spell as well. No, I didn't mark jump for her. There we go. Oh no. Try and drag stuff around. Joshy's gonna explore these caves down here. He is a little behind from those game overs, but we'll see how long it takes him to catch up. Unfortunately, there aren't any easy palaces over on this continent. So they're gonna have to make a choice between Palace 5, Palace 6, or the Death Mountain. Oh, that's right, there was a magic container in one, so you are correct, that is the 5 caves. Eon gets the fire spell. Oops. Which is in Mito. Yeah, the hammer would really open things up. Let's see what they decided to do. Because those 2 palaces they have available at low levels and without glove or key aren't very appealing, so I wouldn't be really too surprised if they went into Death Mountain, but that doesn't really sound like a good idea either. Just from the fact that you can't find Hammer Cave from either entrance, you have to pick a pass-through cave. And you could be lost in there for a while. Oh, they have the raft, you're right. I keep not noticing that. Okay, so yeah, I would go east then. That would be a much better idea. Joshy game over again? We'll see if he goes to pick up fire or not. Unfortunately, he can't get the down stab. Just thinking about it. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna go up and get fire. Fire is reflect. Okay. That's a good find then, at least. Oh, Joshy did find Raru. Apparently, he has jump. I believe it. I'm going to miss a lot of things. Okay, well that is a much not as bad game over if he's got the jump spell. Yeah, it might have been when my browser froze. But I thought Joshy was backtracking for that whole thing. Or whatever the opposite of backtracking is. Recovering from a game over. Eon seems to be looking around for something, but I think they've found everything on the western continent. I haven't noticed whether the hammer does get you south here, but an item that does get you past that Saria and bridge block would be pretty nice to find. No up A? Okay. Not really sure it's worth it to open the menu like that and then change your mind about up A to refill your lives. She does have only half a life bar. It wouldn't be a complete waste of time to up A at that point. B-bag, 500 points. Almost enough for attack 4. Joshy's hopping through Saria. I'm not sure he likes having to go through here every time. Sighting of the water tile. Yeah, I remembered seeing the boulder when they were up north. I just hadn't noticed a road down south that it would connect to. As the River Devil might actually be blocking something. And new Katsudo. Only 5 containers required, so this is a free item for both of them. Joshy thinking about getting his revenge on that red Daira, but changing his mind ultimately. Probably a good call to leave that Daira alone. Because if I'm going to go east, I'm probably going to refill my lives before I do it. Though I'm not 100% sure he's seen everything over here. Oh, I didn't mark fire for him, did I? Alright, what's the new Katsudo spell? Fairy, that is a good find. Costs 76 though, so it's gonna take all of your magic at Magic 3. It is castable, but only once. And Joshy being Magic 2, he might not be able to cast it. Though I'm sure if he gets the fairy spell, he will take that magic up. It's only 310 points. Now he might take it now. No. He'll hold out for attack. Questionable decision to hop on top of this scorpion. He can't really get out of that. And he's on the road to New Katsudo. Another P-bag on this desert tile, 500 points. Gives Eon attack 4. they're pretty close at this point. In fact, Eon's about to walk past New Katsudo again. Yeah, we haven't seen any of the palaces over here. Quite a bit of stuff we're missing, so they're probably gonna have to pick a cave and go through it at this point. And Eon picks this one up at the top end of the road. I was joking about not knowing the Western Continent caves, but I have no idea where any of the caves are in the east. So we'll call this A cave right now. Cave number 1. There's a red or possibly blue Lizalfos in here, beating her up. Game overed. So that's gonna take her a minute to get back here. Gives a chance for Joshy to catch up on the exploration. And Joshy got fairy. I believe there are 4. Sounds right to me. Eon decides to go into Palace 5. It's not a terrible idea, really, with Fairy and Attack 4 and Downstab. And just, you know, not wanting to have to go through there again. But she's not looking for the item, from the looks of it. Immediately going to the right. I'm not sure if I would go in here if I didn't want the item. Because with the placement of this palace, I can really go here anytime. Now, if I was hoping the boots were in there, that would be a really good idea. We'll see how it goes. I don't think I'd be afraid to fight Guma with these stats and the jump spell, but it could always be a faster fight if I had attack 6 or 7. Looks like Joshy's ready to pick a cave. He's going to take the one right next to the raft tile. Nice systematic approach. Eon clips through that wall. Now, do these flags, I don't remember, do they have the extra keys in them still, or did that get removed as well? That might have been the 3rd change. So I know, obviously, the candle's gone. The large and small enemies are mixed. I think the extra keys might have been removed, unless that's the next round. No extra keys, okay. Yeah, so that makes Palace 5 a little scarier, since she can only cast Fairy once per life. And a lot of the keys in this dungeon are hidden behind those blocked walls, like in those elevator rooms where you can only go to the right because to the left you gotta have the glove, and there's usually a p-bag or a key up there. Yeah, that confirms it. So... She takes Magic 4 to get the refill. That's not a bad idea. What's that gonna do? It does not affect Fairy's cost. That's unfortunate. Oh, Joshy's doing something over there. Did he get upstab? Unless he's talking to downstab guy again, so he's probably gonna get a spell over here as well. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I see Joshy going into this palace at low levels. So, if she finds a really good item in here, Joshy will probably be without it for a while. But it does seem like kind of a gamble to me. The spell. Well, that will give him another item next time he's near New Katsudo, but with this world map, I don't know if he's in a hurry to backtrack through that connector cave. Yeah, if it were the gloves or really even the boots at this point, I think it'd be a nice find for either player. This world map is just about the worst thing. Especially with like the Eastern Palace, or the Eastern continent not having any palaces in the North End. You have to go through, like at this point, if Joshy were to game over, he would have to go through Saria, then through that bridge, and then through that connector cave to get back here. Candle might also be a help too. So as this is going on, they're both looking a little more comfortable in the dark caves as their levels are getting a little higher. They can afford to take some hits from some things. And downstab is really nice to have in the dark because you can just jump and hold down and half the things won't even hit you, you'll bounce right over them. Eon's thinking about diving in here for a key. And I haven't looked at the vanilla dungeons in so long that that's exactly what would happen to me. I wouldn't be positive if it's going to be a P-bag or a key. Joshy is going to New Katsudo. I guess he backtracked through that cave. We'll see what he finds in here. Yeah, I don't know if Joshy's messed around with the fire spell yet or not. They do already have 2 of the 3 item spells though, so I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up, I guess most of the spells by the end of the seed. He gets a magic jar. It might be helpful, it might not be. If they don't find the magic key, that could be a helpful pickup. I haven't seen actually what fairy costs for Joshy right now. Not sure if you could cast it at Magic 2 or not, but we do know that Magic 4 did not help. Eon's like 2 magic short of casting that. That hurts. Yeah, the old lady was 5 jars, so it was pretty much a free item for both of them. I think it was a heart container. Sounds right to me anyway. Trying to farm a blue jar, it looks like. There's one. At this point, I would definitely be having my doubts about having dove into this palace, because she's having a lot of trouble getting through these locked doors. But the other palaces on this side weren't very better, or... like, I don't know if we checked whether it was Palace 3 or Palace 5. Here's Guma. So... I guess she does inevitably find the boss. Yeah, she turns away from that pea bag, he doesn't need it. Hopefully Guma gives some good experience or something to make this at least a little bit worthwhile. I don't believe the item in 5 can be glove blocked. The only thing that can be glove blocked in 5 is the keys and such. Alright. Guma's down. Let's see what he's worth. 1,000. That's pretty good. Going for attack, though. Interesting. I think at this point I might commit to just leveling up as my levels come, even though I really don't like doing that. I like to have my high attack power, but with as high as Fairy's cost is, if I could level it up again and try to get the cost down so that maybe I could cast it twice, I don't know, that'd be a pretty appealing decision to me. I completely missed what Joshy just picked up. It's Naburu. I'm sure someone will tell me in a second. Reflect? Okay. Yeah, so not a big benefit from fire. Though it does make it a little cheaper, but at the higher magic ranks, Reflect isn't that expensive anyway. I'm still not sure we've seen any of the palaces on the eastern continent, have we? We're missing 1, 3, 4, and... or 1, 2... yeah, 3 or 6 and 4. There's one of them on Joshy's side. The most disgusting palace one I've ever seen. And he's gonna take it even though this looks horrible. I would fear for my eyes if I were in this dungeon. Oh yeah, I didn't mark gems. I'm bad at remembering gems. Also bad at fixing cropping like I said I would. Let's pull Joshy out a little bit. You can see that little sword icon. There we go. See, I shouldn't have messed with this now. It's just going to bug me until it's perfect, and it's not going to be perfect. I'll just leave it alone. It's fine. Joshy finds the item in Palace 1, and jumps straight into the attack of that monster I can never remember the name of. It's good that I'm commentating this game when I don't know half the monster names. This flies right over it the second time, finds a pea bag. Unfortunate. Decides to up A instead. But he'll go find Horsehead. And he finds him right away. Enchantress finds Darunia. I'm falling behind on the location tracker, so I don't remember what spell this is, so we're gonna find out again. I want to say it was spell. No, Naburu was reflect. We'll mark that one. Joshy drops the gem. Joshy grabs another 500 point bag. And this is probably the road that leads to the River Devil, if I had to guess. He's gonna confirm that. Yeah, definitely. There it is. Oh, no, yeah. Oh wait, no, it's the spell. I was right. Okay. Joshy kills the tech type with up stab. Just, you know, stun locking it midair. That's how physics work, right? Eon's now starting to explore this part of the eastern continent. Joshy pops out in the north. Why did he go through a pass-through cave? Can he not get to Maze Island? Is there another section of this? And he up-aid. Interesting decision. So does that mean he's going to go into one of these two palaces in the east? Yeah, looks like he's exploring. There's another Guma, that's just confusing. Is Joshy gonna try his hand at Palace 5? He's not gonna like this. But it looks like he is. Joshy's looking for the item though, so that's interesting. Maybe if Eon had trouble finding Guma, then that's gonna mean Joshy will not have as much trouble finding the item? Question mark? I don't know, it's Palace 5 without extra keys, so... I was not paying attention to what Eon just picked up in that P-Bag cave. Red jar, nice. Can you even see red jars in the dark? She almost gets taken out by that flying skull head thing. Is this the way Eon went to get to Guma? It might be. That looked like the screen where she was farming for a blue jar. If that's the case, then Guma's like right here. Yes, it is. Alright, so Joshy D versus Guma without shield or life. Let's see how he does. Eon didn't have too much trouble with it. I know Joshy's not too afraid to just knock him off the screen and leave him there. We'll see if that's what he goes for. I missed the desert tile. It made a noise like an important item too. Kindle. Uh-oh. It's not good news for Joshy D. Uh-oh, I changed scenes. Okay. At least I clicked one that didn't have anything on it. Magic container in probably the kid cave? Candle, desert, oops. Is that desert? I think that's desert. Uh-oh, Joshy froze. Uh-oh, the other one froze. Well, we had a good 40 minutes without it doing that. Come on. Alright, tell them both they're not allowed to find items till this fixes itself. Sorry about this, my Firefox does this if I have multiple streams open. There we go. I have like 4 browsers on this computer and none of them are good for capturing. I'll find a good point to refresh them both because they just fell behind. Glove on Maze Island. Nice. Call that the Magic Jar Cave because I don't know the difference. I'm pretty sure that's the jar though because the kid's guarded by Elizalphos. Glove. Marked candle. Refresh Eon here. Joshy's just heading back to Guma, so I'll refresh him too. Or no, he's not. He must be looking for the item again. It really wasn't paying too much attention to Eon's route through here, so I'm not sure what blocked her from going further in here. She might have just gotten far enough that like there was a door that she didn't have enough magic to open. Looks like she's going into Palace 4. Not a bad choice. She can beat the boss if she runs across it. Oh, and she's got the glove, so yeah, right. I guess nothing really stopping her at this point. She's full Digshake. Though boots would be very lovely to have. And this kind of actually flipped pretty quickly here. I would have said that Joshy was in the lead from all the time Eon lost in 5, but now Joshy's losing the same amount of time in 5. And he failed to kill Guma. But also, I don't know why he wasn't able to find the Maze Island up here. If it was blocked by a cave, maybe he just picked the wrong one. But she's got 2 keys now. Yeah, this seed has some questionable palettes in it. Look at those little fireball steel experience in the seed. Nice. Careful jumping over them. Ooh, a pea bag. Look at this guy. Look at this red knuckle. Looks like Joshy went back to the start of the castle. Yeah, I'm sure Joshy's doubting his decision to go in here, but Eon went through the same thing. Oh, that didn't go very far. Okay. So was there a fork they both missed after the first right? Another pea bag in Palace 4. Yeah, I've commented a couple times that they've made decisions, both of them, that were a little like risky. Like you wouldn't see a top player going for it unless they thought they had to win or something. And this nearly full exploration of Palace 5 is definitely a good example of that. Eon finally gets a key, uses it immediately, but it saves some magic. I did not see what Fairy's cost went to there, but she's got Magic 5 now, as well as that 6th Magic container. Fairy is 50, not enough to use it twice. Opts to use Thunder to kill that enemy to pick up a key for a bay. Yeah, I believe that's 96 magic maximum, so if Fairy were 2 magic points cheaper, that would be very lovely. The seed is very, very trolly, I gotta say. On top of these players both seeming like they're not too comfortable with the candleless flag, like, it's just, the whole overworld is not nice to them. Fairy's cost is not being nice to them, and they just can't seem to really catch a break. Oh yeah, this is Maze Island, isn't it? Yeah, you would definitely, if you went all the way out here, you would clear it for sure. This is a pretty long Palace 4 exploration. Like, I am not accustomed enough to commentating to be able to follow both of their palace layouts at the same time, but she's definitely been in here quite a while. Oh, Joshy got Magic Key in 5. That, I think, might help. And Eon is not going to find that, so we're going to... That kind of makes this race interesting. Flute for Eon. That's also really not that edifying. This is 4, right? Because that'll help on the eastern continent, so you save you from having to go through a cave, though I don't think it's going to save nearly as much time as the boots would. I suppose Palace 6 in these flags is not going to have a single key inside it, so the magic key is going to help for that. This... Didn't place any gems, did they? I don't think so. I do not think that Joshy beat Guma. He's going to come back with more attack because he's really easy to find. But I think having found the magic key, that Palace 5 probably worked out in Joshy's favor. Because they both lost a lot of time in there, but Joshy having gotten something very useful out of it, I think that's going to help. Eon versus Kirok. Where's Joshy going now? Palace 3 or 6? I don't think we know which one it is. I assume this is the one on the western continent, but nobody's dove into it yet. Eon's gonna get 2 levels off of this boss. Joshy changes his mind. I didn't see which room he saw when he up-A'd, but he's probably gonna want to come back with the glove, is what that means. And there's Palace 4 for Eon. See if Joshy can find his way to Maze Island. Ah, glove block? Okay. Look at all these eyeballs. That's not random, they're all the same enemy. Eon finding that annoying desert encounter. It's kind of a weird bridge to Maze Island there. Uh-oh. There we go. Don't know if that was my end or not. Joshy has been down here before. He looks a little lost. He up-A'd in that exact spot. He up-A'ds again! Joshy is definitely missing something. Still not quite sure how Eon got up here to this area. It must have been through a pass-through cave though, because this is the north. And I believe the raft spot is in the, like, middle-ish, as far as north-south goes. Joshy is going to Death Mountain. Guess he's hoping the glove's in here. Oops. So I guess going back to the comment that both players are playing like they're behind, I'd say that's definitely what Joshy's thinking right now, is he's probably assuming that Eon did not go into this Death Mountain because they both know that you have to go through a pass-through to get anywhere. And yeah, it's already the first cave he picks takes him nowhere. That is not a good sign. Looks like Palace 6? I don't think Palace 3 is this room. It's the first time I have not seen 2 bubbles in that room, actually. Wow, and it wasn't linked to itself. Neon's trying to avoid having to die to cast Fairy. And that's going to be a big problem in this palace, but if she gets through this palace, I don't think the others will be as big of a problem. We'll see how it works out. But in a seed where the cost of Fairy is trolling you, this dungeon is definitely the make or break, I would say. Unless you bring in a lot of keys from Palace 1 and 2. I believe they are still shuffled with the P-bags in the dungeon. Which was a problem in Palace 5, because then, like those 2 elevators, they usually have P-bags on the left, but it could shove the keys over there, and when both players were in there, they didn't have the glove to pick them out. Shuffled within their own dungeon? Okay. Sounds good to me. Yeah, otherwise Palace 6 would kind of just drain all the keys out of the other palaces and none of them would be possible. Ooh, a red jar, that's as good as a key right now. Little Digger gets shuffled down there. Eon goes for it because that's also basically a key. This race is interesting to me because both players were playing this pretty straight for about the first 20 or 30 minutes, but then as the seeds started getting trollier, I think they both started feeling like they had fallen behind and started taking some of these risks. Oh, that's an unfortunate dead end because she's got to go through the key block again. And you have nothing to death warp on now. Well, this guy might help. Ironically, death warping on a bubble to get your magic back. Joshy found another wide open area. This is not the Hammer Cave. Seems to be passing through it. He's not having any luck in this Death Mountain. There's another couple of caves. Yeah, good point, Inzold. I have Max's getting to finals. I don't remember if he wins or not, but if you could please learn the flags so that my fantasy bracket does a little better, that'd be great. I think right now I'm like 2 for 6 or so on picking the right person. I need some help. I was setting up the Max versus Digshake matchup in the finals. My whole fantasy bracket revolves around setting up matchups from earlier in the tournament. Eon taking another Death Warp for a Fairy cast. Hey, Joshy finds the boots. I was thinking earlier that if the boots were in Death Mountain that nobody would find them, but I guess I'm wrong. That one? That one. Okay. I don't know how Joshy would feel about finding that, though. Because it's not gonna... It wasn't the glove, and I'm sure that's what he wanted. But, you know, if he had found that, like, a half hour ago, that would have been a great item to find. But at this point, with most of the exploration done, Unless he thinks the boots are required, he may not be happy to find that. Let's see. Well, he can get this water tile item. Let's see what that gives him. The hammer. Ooh, that is honestly not a good thing for him to find because, as you see, he's going to go check these 3 hammer-blocked items, and none of them are going to be the glove. But from his position, he's probably excited to find that hammer because it's a good chance of finding the glove. But let's see what he gets. The sink. Look at that. Not what Joshy wanted to find. This whole adventure for the boots and the hammer and the glove-blocked items, it's gonna give Eon plenty of time to search this Palace 6. What did he just stop for? I don't know if he just played the flute there, but he doesn't have the flute. Okay, Trophy Cave. Just gonna cast Fairy, not even gonna deal with it. I don't think Joshy did place the gem in Palace 5. He fought Guma, but he didn't win, and kept looking for the item. Well, he finds the candle. But Guma's like right at the start of Palace 5, so he knows where it is. He'll just come back with more attack and it'll be an easy fight. Guma did give Eon 1,000 experience though, so if he was able to kill Guma, it might have given him a little boost that would have helped. Ew. Joshy just gets mauled by monsters, like 6 little encounter dudes popped up right at the same time. At least he knows right where all these caves are, and he can get to them without too much trouble. But this finding the hammer is honestly costing him like 5 minutes. Don't know what's in here, but he's not going to be happy to see it because it's not going to be his glove. Yep, it's another heart. Well, the hammer helped him on his way to becoming full Joshy, but I think Eon might actually be closer to full Joshy than him. Now, Eon doesn't have the cross, and he has more hearts, so I guess not. And both of the missing spells are life and shield. I don't know what he's running into right now, but it's giving him grief. Eon takes out a Rebanak, who is worth 500 experience. That's not bad. And Eon finds a Barba, unfortunately for Joshy. Yeah, I don't think Eon's going to have nearly as much trouble in the other 3 palaces, so I'm not sure if Joshy can catch up from this. See how it goes, though. He really needs to get up to Maze Island right now. Oh. Makes a little mistake against Barba, but she's got a life left. I have no idea how easy or difficult it will be to get back here if Eon game overs. Don't really expect her to die though, because Barba can be pretty safe if you take the fight safely. Though attack 5, it takes quite a few hits to kill. I think Joshy's looking for Maze Island right now. He's on the eastern coast of Eastern Continent. Barba goes down. Oops. I probably shouldn't have the tracker on top of one of the streams. It's just gonna make that happen every time my cursor pops over it. Palace 6 done. Do that. I have not seen Valley of Death. That's a good question. Now, if boots are required for that, that might help Joshy a bit. He's gonna look for these Maze Island items. One of them is the glove. The other is just this heart container, or magic container. Oh, you got the candle? Nice. Yeah, that was right outside, so he picked it up. Blocked by a swamp and water on Joshy's side. Interesting. Love for Joshy. Okay. Yeah, if Eon has to dive in Death Mountain for the boots, that would give Joshy a little time to catch up. And he is not going to take as long in those dungeons as she did, since he's got the magic key. But they're basically separated by 2 palaces right now. Eon's grinding for this level, and gets a red jar. Nice. Joshy jumping into the Pink Palace 4. Let's see if this candle, or this magic key, pays off, because Eon did take quite a while to get through here. Joshy is fighting these things for reasons I can't explain. Maybe he wants magic 4. He takes a death. He is, like, pretty far down on levels, though. That's worth noting, I think. Eon, I think, was 665? I don't know. I'll see you next time she pops into a place. But he's only 434, an hour and 10 minutes in. She's 566. Okay. So an attack level and, like, 3 magic levels and 2 life levels. Eon can now ferry over the Saria bridge, save a little time. Joshy gets the flute. Sure, he's not excited about that, but I'm not sure really what he would want at this point. Maybe another harder magic container. Oh, did Fairy finally drop under 48? Yeah, that'd be good. Of course, it would have been better before Palace 6. Now, Joshy's not going to have to check all these dead ends for keys like Eon was having to. That's definitely going to make him, or help him make up some ground. But I do think that he's still going to be a little behind when they start to converge a little bit. Maybe. Here's Palace 4's boss already. Eon crawled all over this dungeon, and Joshy seems to have found it within just a few minutes, maybe. It does depend a lot, though, on whether or not the boots are required. You need to get some eyes on the Valley of Death. Eon's jumping into Palace 3 here. I'm missing one of the spells on my location tracker. Fairy. What are my options for that? It was the other free spell, wasn't it? No. It was New Katsudo. Yeah, okay. Oh wow, I didn't notice this Maze Island is one of those, zero benefit to having the boots Maze Islands. The river's all the way up on the north end and your starting point is down in the bottom left. The ferry's 21, wow. Yeah, that's a huge benefit. Before it cost 50 and, Eon only has 96 magic. So it was, even at magic 5, you could only cast it once. Yeah, the ferry at 21, that's going to be 4 casts for 1 life. Effectively, no reason to look for the magic key. Heck with it, at 21, I'd be casting it to get through rooms like this. I don't want to deal with that guy. Forecast. I see what you did there, and I'm not happy about it. Eon finds the item room in 3. Checking it out. Could be the boots, you never know. It's a heart container. But if I had 5 heart containers, I wouldn't be upset to see that. I think when I get about 6 or so is when I start to feel a little more comfortable about the end game. Joshy seems to have up 8 over there. Not sure what his goal is at the moment. He's surely going to go back to the east, unless he wants to take on Palace 5 again, which I doubt. His levels haven't improved too much. Oh, he is by Maze Island? Okay. My bad. Here's the Valley of Death. If he scoots a little more to the left, we might know if the boots are required. Good usage of thunder there. Does the sign really say strange on it? Who wrote that there? Maybe it says something. Maybe it says more than that. Maybe it says, like, strange, there's nobody here. Okay. Joshy gets his shield spell that he likes. I'd feel a lot more happy about that magic key if I had a spell like shield, though. Oh, it is boot blocked, okay. I wasn't positive I could see the side over there. Joshy gonna cast Fairy and Shield to get through here. I believe this is Palace 2 in Valley of Death. We've seen all the rest. Yeah, like, I imagine that Eon is going to do whatever she can to not have to go into Death Mountain, so having the boots right now is actually a very interesting thing for Joshy. Definitely puts him back in this. Can he get to this palace without game overing? Okay, he's got another life. I'm not sure where he is in this Valley of Death, but I know this is his second screen and it didn't look too long. Hopefully this is the last encounter. As Eon approaches Rebanak, Joshy finds a third. He's gonna counter skip. Or not. He thought he did. I think he got it that time. Palace 3 down for Eon. And I guess Eon's gonna find Palace 1, and then after that, she's looking for the boots. Hey, Joshy made it. I believe Palace 1 is on the western continent in that middle area, on the left side of it. So she just needs to go through the pass-through cave and find it. If she did find it earlier, I don't know why she wouldn't have completed it, so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, another horribly disgusting palace on Joshy D's side. Thank goodness for this seed. This is probably my favorite seed I've seen in this tournament, just because everything about it is completely disgusting. From the overworld to the palace palettes. Oh yeah, the glove coming in handy. Or flute, rather. Don't have to go through that pass-through cave now. Joshy finds Helmet Head pretty quickly. Here's Palace 1 on Eon's side. So this is basically down to, can Joshy beat 3 and 6 before Eon finds the boots? I guess and completes Palace 2. That's Palace 2 for Joshy. Horse Head right away for Eon. I don't know if she's seen the Valley of Death, but maybe. See if she looks for the item. Why is Joshy looking for the item? Question mark? Where are you going? What does he think he's missing? Oh, he's grinding. Okay. Did he not place the gem? Well, I marked it early. Joshy, what would Digshake say if he saw you grinding at 1 hour and 20 minutes? Come on. Horsehead was, like, right in here, though. Uh-oh. Joshy freaking out over all the projectiles on the screen. Accidentally brings up his power mapper screen. Oh, where's Eon? Nibiru? Let you... No, this is the reflect spell. Okay. So I guess Eon is interested in shield or life. Not gonna find him, unfortunately. I'm sure she'll find shield later on, though. This is not what she wanted. It'll strengthen a shield, but first you gotta get the shield, see? There, Joshy places his gem. Okay. So Joshy's got, I believe 3 and 5 are both on the west, but 6 is over here. He needs to find it, though. It's up by Maze Island in a swamp. Is he gonna go through the Valley of Death? Yes. Maybe. He's thinking about it. Ah yes, the goal of the race, full Joshy D. Fortunately, they need 2 hearts for that, and I think Joshy left one in Palace too. Yeah, she is looking for Palace 2, but not finding it. Where's Joshy? Palace 5? I think so. Gonna go try his hand at Guma again now that he's got attack 6. As well as the shield spell. Probably have a lot more luck this time. Cast Thunder on this room. I guess he's feeling pretty confident. Doesn't need that first life. I forget what his levels were last time he was in here. It might have been attack 4. I hate that when those skulls get in the elevator shaft and they just bounce down slowly. Unfortunate. Graveyard on the coast. Not a bad place to be buried. It could have been something like that. I know he got life 4 before magic 3, I think. I said I know, and then I said I think, you see. Backpedaled on that one. I'm completely confident in everything I say. Yeah, she's just taking it safe. 1 hit at a time, jump away. Okay, maybe about half a hit at a time. And Guma's down. He's probably very happy that Guma gave so much experience. Now he can just take attack 7. That actually puts him ahead of attack on Eon. Because Joshy isn't nearly as worried about the magic levels as Eon was. Eon continues to try pass-throughs. Actually, I think this is P-Bag Cave. I think one of them went in here. I don't remember what it was, though. Also was the other P-Bag Cave. I don't have either one marked. Little monster. Trophy. Okay, nobody actually found this. Definitely not what Eon wanted to find. There it is. Oh. Oh, I didn't mark P5. I assume this is P3. I believe it was the red one. Yeah, for sure. This is what happened, though, to a couple of people in the play-in race, actually, is that there was a required item in Death Mountain, and Death Mountain did not look appealing at first sight, so a couple of people who could have won avoided Death Mountain. And it ended up biting them in the end. Joshy, probably when he got confirmation that the boots were required, he probably got pretty excited about that. Because up until then, it didn't seem like it was worth his time to go into Death Mountain. Eon's gonna get the spell item. I think Joshy got this, but I don't remember what it was. It might have been a P-Bag or something. Did Eon not get the item in one? She may not have had the confirmation that it was blocked, but now that she's looking for items, I guess she probably would go back into P1. Oh right, this was the 7th magic container you got. No, she's already got the item from the old lady. It was only 5 magic containers required for that. Gushers ads. And I haven't seen an ad for fruit gushers since I was like 7. I actually wonder if you can see Valley of Death, because maybe from that little graveyard she popped out in, but it being in the bottom right corner and that graveyard was right above it, I don't know. I think it being in a corner though would make it a little easier for me to remember that I haven't checked it, because if I haven't seen one of the 4 corners of the map, that's going to stick out to me. At least she won't have to get the all the hammer items that Joshy picked up, because as soon as she gets the boots, she'll probably be content and may not even check the water tile, even though she's gonna walk right past it. Joshy's still in Palace 3. Rebinek's gotta be around here somewhere. Eon knows where this one goes. And she knows that she can get around it with the flute. Yeah, I was kind of surprised she hadn't done Palace 1 earlier, so I'm not sure if, like, she had, like, forgot some of the stuff that was around here. Here's Rebenek for Joshy. So she's got to find these boots before Joshy finds Palace 6. Though I'm not sure he knows where Palace 6 is. It may take him a second to find it, but it won't take him forever. Yeah. It's up in the northeast by Maze Island, so he might find it by walking around with his boots. But if he doesn't remember that he didn't fully explore that area, he may not find it. And there's P3's gym placed for Joshy. Is he getting attack 8? Looks like it. Oh, he's gonna spend the levels though. Not an unwise decision. So you never know if you're gonna for sure get that full level up from your final palace. He's got 1 life left, but he's still gonna up A, just eat the 1000 XP. He doesn't feel like he needs to hit 777. And he's back to the east to look for Palace 6. I'm not sure really where there is for Eon to check other than Death Mountain and Palaces. I remember one of them found the other P-Bag Cave, but I don't remember which one it was. And there wasn't anything in it. She just up 8, so it might be time to go to Death Mountain. Yep, heading west. Just checked in on the IRC chat at some point. Don't have timestamps. Joshy D has declared that this is incredible. From having watched this whole seed, I can't even begin to narrow down when he might have said that. Hang on, she's going through Saria. She go into the other Death Mountain entrance? There was one on the side. Yeah, I know. I'm using the Speedruns Live Mibit client because I'm a terrible person. To be fair, I tried to sign into it on my tablet in the client I have on here, but since I was already signed in on Mibit, it didn't let me. Yeah, I turn on timestamps whenever it's available, but, you know, the SRL Mibit client doesn't have options as far as I'm aware. I don't care enough to actually install an IRC client on my computer. I guess Eon not having the hammer or the boots, she still has to go through Saria to get here. Wow. He's heading back east. Perhaps looking for Palace 1's item? I don't know why she up 8 to begin with, though. Oh, Joshy's found Palace 6. So I would say we have a lead change once again. There have been a lot of lead changes in this race. But it just comes down to this seed being about the most disgusting rando seed I've ever seen. Interestingly, like, the flags don't even have that much to do with it. Yeah, she's heading to Palace 1. I don't think the race is over, but I'm pretty confident Joshy would be determined to be in the lead at the moment, just because, you know, he's on the right path, he knows where everything is, but we'll see how he does in Great Palace with the mixed enemies, I guess. That's about the only thing that could slow him down, though. Because it's basically having to explore Palace 6 versus having to explore that Death Mountain. Yeah, for sure. It's always gross when you have, like, you think you've got everything you need, you're already clearing out palaces, and you've been leaving items behind in the palaces, and you find out later you need the boots or you need the flute. It's like, oh, well, this is a problem. Because, I don't know about most people, but me, if I have everything that I think I need, I stop remembering where everything is. So, you know, I'm gonna have to sit there and think for a minute to remember which palaces did I not get the items out of, that kind of thing. It's definitely like a hard crash that you run into after this great feeling of relief you had earlier. Yeah, every single palace I think in this seed has been this disgustingly bright neon color, most of them pink or purple. And it's just like the icing on the cake for everything else this seed has done to these players. Every palace has been absolutely disgusting. Joshy has definitely done something to his video settings in the last couple days, because I've noticed, like, I mean, just look at his sand next time he's out on the overworld. It's not even close to white. It's hard to say what he did. Looks like he found the item room, but he's not interested. Good call. Where's Eon at now? Palace 6? Question mark? She is really going out of her way to avoid Death Mountain. I'm wondering if she's just made the decision that if it's in Death Mountain, she's lost the race. This has come up quite a few times, but I'm sure these racers have had plenty of moments where they thought they were behind. And, I don't know, at this point I would try Death Mountain. I mean, with attack 6, I mean, in the candle, there's got to be a reason why you're avoiding Death Mountain at this point, and I imagine it's got to be because you're just committing to not looking in there. But I think I would do it before revisiting Palace 6, unless I was very sure of where the item was. Joshy did just see it on his side. I think it was down a drop or two. Joshy finds Barba, immediately takes a lava bath. Not sure if that was to refill his magic or if he was just trying to be cool and fly right across so that Barba starts in the same hole every time. I don't even bother trying that. I always go in the lava if I try it. It's not even casting shield. I guess he's feeling pretty confident. And Barba's down. 1,000 experience is gonna be... Oh, he thought about it. He thought about going to grind, but no, he's gotta get out of here and head to Great Palace, because it's an hour and 40 into this. And both racers know that, I mean, they're in the final bracket now. The top 16 players are competing right now, and honestly, a 140 is pretty high for even like a finish time for this point in the tournament. So they gotta be wondering if like how close is the other player to Thunderbird right now. Now Digshake, you have missed an amazing seed. So just to recap this overworld while Joshy starts Great Palace, like they started out having to find Bagu and go through Saria. Then they immediately had to go through a bridge encounter. Then, like, if you wanted to go to the east, you had to go through a pass-through cave to get anywhere. It was, like, game overs have been so costly in this seed. And both of them have had a couple of them, so I'm sure that's putting them, you know, both on tilt and just wondering how much trouble their opponent's having, because they can't feel too confident, I would say. Eon does find the item. I'd say it's possible she remembered where this was. Ooh, an immediate Thunderbird in Great Palace, too. Larry, those are not pretzels. Okay. No, there's nothing to mark. My bad. I missed what that item was, but... Is it time for Death Mountain? Oh yeah, the other thing for people who are very new is that the most recent development is the discovery that the boots are required and in a Death Mountain, and you cannot find the, Oh, no, it's not time for Death Mountain, it's time for Palace 5. Well... But yeah, from neither entrance of Death Mountain can you find Hammer Cave, and Eon just does not want to go into Death Mountain right now. Yeah, Eon placed the 5th gym and then realized she couldn't find Palace 2 because she needed the boots, and Joshy went in there looking for the glove earlier, and I'm sure he didn't want to find the boots when he found them, but they ended up being required, and it's what put him way ahead right now. In fact, like, when Joshy found the boots, he immediately found the hammer right afterward, and the hammer was blocking 3 items, and none of them were anything worth finding. It was the cross and I think 2 containers. Maybe one was a pea bag, because they have the same number of containers right now. Neon revisiting 5, that's just gonna find the magic key. Honestly, if I were to find the magic key in 5, I would wonder why hasn't my opponent finished by now? Because Eon spent a lot of time trying to ferry through doors, only being able to cast Fairy once until she was past Palace 6, so 4, 5, and 6 were all down. But Joshy had been struggling to find the glove, and she was actually still ahead of him after that point. Then Joshy caught up because of the boots that he just happened to find. It's been a very wild ride, this whole race. Joshy D still navigating through Great Palace, finds the TheCowness room, does not get Buzz Thundered. I believe they both have upstab, so they gotta watch out for those king bots. Joshy thinking about which way to go. I'm pretty sure Joshy's mapping out Great Palace as he goes. He usually does that. If I were any good at commentating, I'd be mapping it too, but I'm sure I would get distracted at some point and miss something. Why don't I switch to his audio so we get the Great Palace going? His audio's a bit lower than hers. But I balanced against Joshy earlier, so maybe I've been quiet this entire time, not even realizing. It's an interesting outline on those little skull dudes. My volume's been perfect? Okay, then the game's probably quiet now. I'll turn him up. A little. I don't want to mess with it though. Oh yes, good call casting Fairy in this room. That is disgusting. Oops. She takes a drop. Uh-oh. My browser does its thing again. Don't do this in Great Palace. Okay. Wasn't that big a deal. Restreamer, when is getting a good computer? Yeah, that summarizes the seed pretty well. These 2 dungeon pellets are definitely the most boring of the 7 in this seed. I really don't care for those red statues in this palace on Eon's side. Oh, what a gross waffle room. This is the kind of room that makes you just walk in here and then you're like, you know what? It's not this way. And you just leave. He's throwing shield and jump down. He's gonna give it a shot. He does have upstab, so it's a little easier to navigate this. And the left side's not a problem. Just horrible lag. Let's see if upstab's required. They do both have it, so it wouldn't be a big deal, but it's always fun to notice. Yeah, she's not even gonna fight this guy. He's right there, but you know what? Forget it. He is able to cast Fairy like 4 times if he doesn't cast anything else, so not a big deal to cast Fairy to get through these rooms. In fact, he's probably pretty excited about that, because I know he likes casting Fairy like with Reckless Abandon in the Great Palace. And I'm sure the mixed enemies only makes it more reassuring of it being a good idea. Okay, so Eon got the key. Fortunately not what she was looking for. Looks like it's finally time for Death Mountain. I'm not sure what palaces she hasn't gotten the items from, if any. Oh, we've already seen an upstab required. Nice. I don't think I saw Joshy enter the Hammer Cave, but I know he saw at least 4 or 5 little open areas with multiple caves before he actually found the right place. Yeah, boot block with boots in a terrible Death Mountain. And Joshy happened to find the boots while he was looking for the gloves earlier, and it's just paid off because Eon put off the Death Mountain until last. Which, you know, you really can't blame her for doing so, but it's just unfortunate. This seed is really not giving either of them a break. Joshy's struggling in Great Palace. He up 8 again, I believe. Yeah, I have no idea about the layout of this Death Mountain. I wasn't paying very much attention to it, and on top of that, it was just absurdly complicated. There aren't any, like, huge areas where you can get to 10 or more caves. The largest area I saw Joshy in was probably 6 caves. Though I wasn't counting, I'm just estimating. Joshy has to cast Fairy in Fairy Room, so he will not be able to go right in Fairy Room as he is prone to do. Well, maybe he will. No. Okay. He's just trying to get to the end. He knows Thunderbird is behind him. All he's got to do is fight Dark Link, so even Joshy D isn't going to get the Fairy today. I thought he went to the right here earlier. Maybe not. This is a dead end. Eon finds the Hammer Cave. Shouldn't take very long with attack 6 and life 7 to pick up the boots out of here. Ah, I recognize that waffle room, and so does Joshy. I believe someone commented he was in a loop earlier, so Joshy may have just figured that out. Yeah, Joshy is lost in this palace, but we'll see. I do know that he found Helmet Head pretty quickly, so Eon's not going to have too much trouble catching up and getting into Great Palace. Oh, what an annoying room. See, he's gonna keep going. He remembers that he cast Fairy to get past this guy earlier. Yeah, he wasn't sure. Eon is going for this town. Interesting. It's gonna be the shield spell, which I guess I'll mark it off. I guess why not? It's right there. She would have known which town it is. Joshy turned around. Yeah, Joshy, you gotta turn around. You don't want to go through this waffle room again. Maybe you do. I don't know. I went 1-3 in this tournament. I can't question him. Yeah, I know he has to go at least back past the Jackamus room to get anywhere. Joshy, just stop A. Joshy, no. Joshy's walking through a metaphorical swamp right now. If his game continues to run at half speed, he may lose this lead. He even knows he has to go to the left. And he dies. Last life, though. Oh yeah, having been down a life from that blue chicken, I definitely would have up-A'd there. Eon's found Horsehead. Takes him down very quickly, and gets the maximum possible experience from Helmet Head. Gem is placed, and she's off to Great Palace. Gonna take the level first, though, which is probably Magic 7? Yeah. Joshy is reluctant to take those lefts. Varying over one spicy chicken. It is his last life, though. He finds a little digger. Honestly, probably not too upset to find that. Burns more magic to get over here. Eon enters the Great Palace. If Eon goes up in that fairy room and finds Dark Link, he might lose this. She might take it from him. He's got the exploration advantage, but we'll see. Because, I mean, it's not like it's a choice between left and right there. It's a choice between up or down. Why are you looking for a jar? Joshy, you don't have the life spell. Eon approaches Thunderbird. Is this it? This is not it. He's been here before. You need to up A. This chicken killed you on this life. Okay, he realizes it. Up A's. Back to the start. No, that was not a new path. That was the one he found that dead end on. But really, you know, this is a very, very fitting Great Palace to end this seed on, because this whole seed, the maps have been horrible. Everything's been really not nice to these players, and it's not really surprising that Great Palace isn't going to be nice either. They high-five in the Thunderbird room. So Joshy is about half a room closer to Dark Link right now. I didn't mark the boots for Eon. Let's give Eon the boots. Some more exciting lead changes. Joshy's just gonna cast Fairy. He doesn't want anything to do with this room. And will Eon go up or down? Joshy goes down. I didn't see that coming. Am I wrong? Is there still somewhere to the left he has to go? Maybe. Maybe he didn't go up this second elevator. Eon takes 2 deaths to that bot. That bot goes home and is hailed as a hero. Ah yes, the always cast fairy room, I believe is what it's called, unless we've named it after a person by now. The Eon drop. Will you take it? Oh, without hesitation. This might be it, though. I don't think he's seen the other of these rooms. He found it. Oh boy. Joshy D with the Eon drop for the finish. Hop in one of these Discord channels in case they want to chat. GG. Joshy finishes with a race time of 1:59.45, and immediately his comment is, "Holy Jesus, what was that? Most overworld I've ever seen." There we go. Let's switch back to Eon's audio. Oh, she's actually forfeiting. Yeah, I would be pretty salty after that run. I don't know if I would want to finish either if I had the entire Great Palace ahead of me in that kind of a seed. Invite them in if they're interested. What happened? Did they both cut? No. Just take Eon for some game audio. That was a crazy race though. Ton of lead changes. Ton of... I don't know. We'll see what they have to say about it. If no one else wants to restream the next one, I can do it. I'll probably watch it if I'm not restreaming it, but... if anyone else wants to take it, they can. I I got other stuff I can goof off and do while watching if someone else restreams it, you see.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, that sure was a seed.
Yeah, there was really nothing nice about that seed, I think.
You know, I thought it was actually not too bad until I realized I needed the boots to get to Valley of Death.
Yeah.
And then I ended up 100%ing.
Yeah, Joshy actually found that looking for the gloves. He didn't find that right away as quickly as you did, so he just happened upon it. He dove into Death Mountain looking for glove and just happened to find boots, and it really worked out for him in the end.
Yeah, well, that will definitely do it. That's the difference of the race right there.
Yeah. Like, early on there were a lot of lead changes, but then he fell behind looking for the glove, and then until we noticed that it was required, I think that was the last palace he went into, that it looked like he was behind.
Yeah. Oh gosh. No, that'll be interesting to watch that back, but at this point I don't feel like finishing digging through Great Palace to find Dark Link.
Yeah, that's kind of understandable, but it's really not a very nice Great Palace either. I don't know if Joshy will want to comment on that.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey Joshy, congrats on the win.
Oh,
Nice
thanks.
race.
Yeah. Oh my god, I was gonna start begging you in IRC to just finish so I could stop playing. I was so miserable the whole time.
I wasn't doing too badly until I realized boots were required, and then I 100%ed trying to find them.
Yeah, I kept thinking that there must have been some other way to get to the southern part of the continent other than like going through Bagu and then a bunch of horrible encounters. Like, I don't know if I missed something. I felt like I was doing everything wrong because I wasn't finding anything.
No, to get
That
to
was
the
exactly the way I went too.
That's so gross. Like that. It was like 20 minutes in, and like I hadn't done a damn thing because I'm just trying to like find a cave somewhere that'll give me an item, and then every location had like jars.
Yeah.
Oh. And then yeah, I guess it was, what was it? Boots in Hammer Cave that finally let us start doing stuff.
Yeah, and then I guess I almost ducked into the water tile just out of curiosity, but that had to have been the hammer then.
Yeah, and there was nothing that the hammer gave you that was any use.
Yeah, that made me furious because I finally got him. Like, okay, thank God, like we're gonna start doing stuff, and it was all garbage.
Yeah, Eon had already found the glove at that point, so when we saw you pick up the hammer, we were just pretty sure that you were about to lose 5 minutes looking for items that weren't going to help you.
Oh. Yep. Although, if one of them was the cross saved me at one point from... well, I think it like I almost like game overed going through Valley of Death. I had like 1 hit point left, and that would have been like, if I hadn't found the cross, at least that would have been the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, cross was behind a block, I think. It was like cross, a pea bag, and maybe a container or a heart.
Yeah, if it was the cross, that absolutely saved me, because there was a lot of horrible caves and other stuff that I surely would have died a bunch more in. And then that Great Palace was a total nightmare. And I think it was worse because I got lost real bad, but it kind of sucked. Like, you know, like I might have been bad, but that doesn't mean it didn't suck.
Yeah, it was, well, I didn't actually see very much of Great Palace. I fought Thunderbird and then game overed in the fairy room, or up-aid there or whatever, and then you done shortly thereafter, so...
Okay, I spent, I don't know how long I was in there, but it seemed like I was in there for way too long.
Yeah, it looked like there were multiple loops, and yeah, it was a pretty not nice Great Palace on top of everything else in that seed.
Yeah, I've never stuck through a seed that had an overworld that terrible.
Yeah, those early game overs, like both of you had some game overs that were really costly because you had to go through Saria, you had to go through that bridge encounter, and then if you were in the east, you had to go through another cave. And
what a pile of shit that was! That was just terrible. Yeah, There was one point, I don't know if you noticed it, but like I started walking down the like just south of Start Palace. I started walking along the road because I thought for sure, like, oh my god, I never went down to the right of this, and if this goes to like the southern part of the continent, like I've just wasted a half hour, and everyone's been laughing at me. And luckily, it was a dead end. Oh, I hated that. I'm glad you didn't like it either, because then I don't feel quite as bad. Because the whole time I was thinking, like, you know, did she find some way to do this that I'm just like, did I make everything really hard on myself?
Yeah, there were a lot of points in that race where you both seemed like you were so far, like hadn't made enough progress that you probably both felt like you were behind the other person, and you were making some questionable decisions, like looking in certain palaces for items and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was basically, I didn't think it was that terrible with until the boot block. Then that was when I started hating the seed. But yeah, I was definitely feeling behind at that point once I didn't have the boots. So,
man, because like we couldn't, you know, like I thought that once we got over to the east, like things would start getting better, and if we would have found an item, then all of the trouble in the beginning wouldn't have been so bad. But the fact that we couldn't find Maze Island, and I don't even know if there was anything super useful there, you know, like that, the boots really made East Continent doable, like at all. So that, I mean, just after going through all that and then having just a pile of garbage east, like, it was so disheartening. Because, you know, like, just nothing went right.
One thing you may not have noticed, Joshy, is that I believe you could get to Maze Island without the boots, so Eon had been up there already.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you found your way up there.
Yeah,
No,
you had to go through like two connector caves to get around to get up to it without the boots. Because yeah, I only got the boots right before Valley of Death. I'd cleared everything else at that point. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, I know that there were some caves I didn't do, but at that point, like, I felt so behind. I'd already done so many caves. I'm like, you know, fuck it, I'll try 5. You know, I'll go looking for some other stuff. I was just so frustrated of not having progress.
And that magic key you got in 5 actually helped a bit too, because Eon didn't have that, and until I think Magic 6, you couldn't cast Fairy twice on 1 life.
Yeah, that was also very rough. I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I didn't find the magic key until I was digging for the boots. So.
And then, like, the icing on the cake of this seed was the fact that, like, every single palace had a disgusting palette on it.
You know, there was a green one, and there's a pretty intense purple one, like more kind of lavendery purple that I think I was only in there, like, there's some short palaces. I think that one didn't last long.
Like, Great Palace and I think 5 were a little toned down, but the rest were just these bright neon colors.
They were super bright, that's for sure.
You don't like the super bright palettes?
Well,
I mean, I was okay with it.
Give me bubblegum pink palettes all the time.
Well, I like that the commentators these days have finally learned the word fuchsia, because like they're always calling like these fuchsia palaces pink. I'm like, dude, like that is like not pink at all. Like, whatever. I kind of like the super metally ones that are like kind of black and silver. Like, I wish I could just have those all the day. Well, the Enchantress, I'm really sorry that we're not going to see the Digshake rematch. I was confident that that's what was coming up.
I mean, I didn't get a ton of time this past week to practice, so congrats on your win, and I'm looking forward to your race against Digshake. So the rematch there.
That's going to be really. I honestly think that you'd have a better. I should. Can I use a lifeline and just have Eon play my Digshake match just to knock his ass out of the tournament?
Just remember, always take the Eon drop.
I as soon as I saw it in Great Palace, I took it, and it took me right to Darkling. But it was also after every single other goddamn thing you could do in the palace, so it was pretty safe at that point.
Nice.
Well, yeah. That was Well, I'm glad we got to play a match. That was really great. I'm not glad that I played that seed.
I'm also glad I did not play that, but it was a fun one to watch. There were a lot of lead changes.
I bet.
It was pretty exciting.
Oh man, I can't wait to see the restream. That's going to be great. Because I mean, there was so much crazy stuff to do that I'm expecting we took really radically different paths through the seed.
And not so much at the start, but once you went over to the East Continent, it started diverging a bit.
Yeah, well, I think there was really only one thing you could do on the West, and it was go through a bunch of crap to get anywhere. Ugh. But yeah, that's great. What's up?
Interesting would be if one of you found the boots like really early on, because then you would have probably saved like a half hour maybe from just easier navigation.
There was a point where I considered just doing Death Mountain because everything was so gross. But I don't know. It felt like it kind of felt like a losing strategy. Like so, but that would have definitely changed a lot of stuff. But then maybe I wouldn't have found the key, and then because I never found the life spell, so I really needed to save magic for like shield all over the place.
Life spell had to have been in Ruto.
Yeah, definitely. Ugh. Well, what's up on the schedule? Who's playing next?
It is Scorpion Max versus Nirm.
Ooh, that'd be good.
I don't know if that's started yet.
Oh, is that tonight?
Yeah.
They
were gonna wait till after yours to start, though.
Sorry, we took 2 hours.
Yeah, it's actually already in progress.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, let's.
Up for it or not.
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and host one of them guys, and we'll watch that race and try to wash the memory of this thing away.
Good idea.
I don't mean to be negative, but that was kind of gnarly.
It looks like they're on Randomizer Mania.
That's why I don't see him. Yeah, we'll go over there then.
All right. Well, yeah, good game, Enchantress. Thanks for the restream, TheCowness, and
good game.
Thank you very much. We'll talk soon.
Yep.
Bye-bye.